Time now for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace, former Ottawa Senator Jason York, and Graham Nichols.
Good Thursday morning to you, Sens fans. It's a game day. Welcome to the Coming In Hot podcast. It is November 20th. I am joined, as always, by the purveyor of puck, the oracle of outdoor rinks, a Swiss League champion, and the Senators' record holder for shots on goal in a game. And I think he holds the official title of annoying Brent Wallace during the shows. Jason York, what's going on? How are you doing?
Graham, you're going to be in charge of pumping my tires before every show. Wow. What was the first thing you said, by the way?
The purveyor of puck.
Purveyor of puck. That would make Kyle Bukauskas proud. That's a nice a nice word adjective you're using there.
Yeah. I should have worked in a truncated, but I couldn't think of anything. How are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm a little tired. I got, for once, because I watch all the Calgary Flames games. I watch the Flames, and then I'm into this new series on Netflix that my wife Laurel and I are watching. It's called what's it called? The Monster in Me or The Devil in Me. It's great show. Anyone that's looking for a good show right now, I'll get the exact name for you. It's like The Monster in Me, something like that. Fantastic. It's one of those shows you can't just watch one episode. You got to watch like 3 at night. So I didn't, like one more. And then all of a sudden you look at the clock, it's like 12:30 at night. And so I'm a little tired this morning, Graham. So
yeah, I hear you. I had a work party last night, like for fire. So it was we went to a local establishment and had a good time. And I'm exhausted tonight, exhausted this morning. So it was fun. It was a good time.
The firemen like to get after it, don't they? Like that would be a
man. I was like, so we were coming off shift. Like I worked on Tuesday, and then I was coming off shift yesterday morning, and I'm just like, I didn't nap during the day or anything, which was a mistake on my part. And I was just like, just towards the end of the night, I'm just like, I'm starting to fall asleep. I'm like, I got to get out of here. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Good times. Another quiet night in Canada, but it was fun.
Yeah. I got out for a couple last night too.
Where'd you go?
I go to Churchill's, little local spot. Yeah. Little local spot here in Westboro.
Yep.
Had to have their version of the old fashioned because nobody's selling bourbon right now. So you got they're I don't know, some kind of rye concoction. But
you get the smoke. You get the smoke in it.
A little smoky. Not bad. They do a good job there. Yep. My buddy Jordan there makes one of the best in the city. So yep. It was a good night.
Yeah. I like Churchill's. It's a great spot. I should also mention this show is brought to you by Bet365. So Yorkie, like big game tonight. Big game because they have a game. Ottawa's kicking off a road trip. It feels like it's been a while. Like it's been a long time. But the Sens are kicking off their West Coast trip. 7 games. Starts in Anaheim. I haven't watched a ton of Anaheim this year, but apparently they're crushing it under Joe Quenneville.
We're good. Okay. Correction. The Netflix show to watch right now is my pick of the month, The Beast in Me. The Beast in Me. You like it, Graham? It's kind of dark.
Yeah. Okay. I've been stuck watching Slow Horses. It's on Apple. And
that just doesn't sound like something I want to watch.
It's good. It's like a British MI5. It's a British MI5 drama with Gary Oldman, and Gary Oldman's just like a drunk agent.
You've said I've been stuck watching Slow Horses.
No, it's but like okay, so it got recommended to me by a buddy. I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. Gary Oldman, I haven't heard of it, so I'll like, he's a great actor. I'll start watching it, and I start watching the first season, blow through the first season like it's nothing. They're only like 6 episodes each, the seasons, and first season was great, and I thought that was the only season, and no, it turns out it's been on for like 5 seasons, I think. So it's just So then it's like you realize like, oh God, I'm going to be watching this for the next while. So but it's good. So, it's really, really good.
What time is this game starting tonight at? Because it's going to be. I have a feeling
it's late. It's late. It's very late.
So
that's the tough part. These West Coast trips. But the good news is, I think Saturday's game against San Jose is at 7. They have like an afternoon game, I believe, against St. Louis in there. So they have. I think tonight's like might be the only 10. There might be one. Oh no, sorry. Just pulled up the schedule here. Yeah, they're 10 o'clock tonight, 7 p.m. on Saturday against San Jose. Monday night, they're at 9 against the Kings. And then Wednesday, they're on at 10 against Vegas. And then 4 p.m. against Dallas, 4 p.m. against St. Louis, and then 6 p.m. against Dallas on Sunday. So they got it's not, in terms of viewability and just not having to stay up late to watch these games. It's not bad. It's not bad. Could be worse.
I've watched a little bit of Ducks so far this season. I keep waiting. This is the thing with the Anaheim Ducks, and I think everybody's kind of in the same boat. Everybody keeps waiting for them to slip. They lost 3 in a row. I think it was last week. They're okay. Yeah, the start was not for real. Here's the real Ducks are going to come back to down to earth here, but they don't. Like they beat Boston last night at home. Like we talked about this yesterday. They're very good at home. I think they've only lost once, like 5 or 6, maybe even 7-1 by now. But you look at that roster, and people, you and I were talking about this before we came on the air today. Everybody talks about Celebrini. Everybody's talking about Bedard now. The young guy in the league that not enough people are talking about is Leo Carlsson. He's the one center for the Anaheim Ducks. Graham, I think you pointed this out. He's 5th or 6th in National Hockey League scoring right now, behind, as it McDavid, McKinnon, Bedard, Celebrini, and there's Leo Carlsson. The thing I like about him, he's big. He's 6'3", 210 pounds. He's only a 2004, and so he went number 2 in the draft, right? I think he was 2.
Mm-hmm.
He was 2, and was that the Celebrini?
I believe so.
I'll go back and I'll go back and take a look. But yeah, he's just going about his business, putting up points. But if you look at the way this Anaheim Ducks team is constructed now, I like what they did in the summer. They went in, they went out, and they brought a couple good veterans in. Trouba came in before, but I like Kreider. Kreider is one of those guys that plays on the inside. And then all of a sudden, guys like Mason McTavish, everybody in Ottawa knows he's a year older, a year wiser. He's your number 2 center. Terry is pretty clutch. Killorn was a good pickup, who they pried away from Tampa a few years ago. He's always a gamer, but they've insulated their young guys with good veterans that can still play. They play heavy. And yeah, like I like Zellweger on their blue line as well. He's people remember him from the World Juniors, great skating defenseman. Gudas, probably still one of the best villains in the games. Radko Gudas, buddy of mine, Sean McKenzie, who works for Sports. So that's his favorite player in the game. Whenever Sean does a broadcast, he always wants to do a story on Radko Gudas. He just looks like a Bond villain, doesn't he?
Yeah,
like,
for sure. Especially when he has the beard going. It's just
when he's got that, like, it's like that old school back in the day when Czech was a communist country. He looks like he looks like a guy that's under the radar terrorist. But no, and they're getting good goaltending too. They're getting some really good goaltending. Mrazek was a good pickup to come in as your backup, and Dostal's been good. But the big thing for me, Graham, is people can say what they want about Joel Quenneville, whatever side of the fence you're on, whether you're happy he's back, whether you're not. The bottom line is, he's a great coach. He is a really, really good coach. And the way he coaches, he wants his forwards to play, like, as soon as you get the puck, they're gone. And they're stretching. They really put pressure on the other team's D. Like, if you remember those Chicago teams when they were winning cups, they were playing fast hockey. Before now, you hear everybody talk about, every single coach says the same thing. We need to play fast. We need to play fast. We need to get up the ice. But that's how he coaches. It's offense, taking risks, but calculated risks, but they really put a lot of pressure. And with young guys, like they've gone from their old style, with Cronin, their old coach, where it was all about defense, which you got to play, but they've totally changed their style. And you could tell these young guys have embraced it. They got the old guys in there now that are there to insulate them, but they've been a good story. Like, when's the last time, when's the last time Anaheim has been a good team?
Was threatening. You're going back probably to the late 2000s, like 2007
when they won the cup. They beat Ottawa.
But you're going back, You're going back that long. It's been a long time.
It just goes to show you, like when you're bad for a long time and you accumulate all the picks and you draft correctly, you're going to hit usually when you're picking that high. But yeah, we'll see. I see no reason why this team's going to slow down, and I'm really fascinated to watch this game tonight to see these young players, because I haven't watched a full Ducks game yet.
I think what I like is they've added size and skill, right? Like you got Cutter Gauthier, you got Mason McTavish, you got Seneca on the right side. Like they've done a really nice job. Like obviously, like Trevor Zegras is an exceptional offensive young player, but like he wasn't the style of player that they believed they needed or wanted to build with moving forward, and they flipped him at the Philly. And they've stockpiled these young, big, skilled players, and they play hard. And yeah, to your point, like Coach Q, think of what you want, but he's gotten results early, and he's probably if this keeps up, he's probably going to be like a favorite for the Jack Adams.
Yeah, I think so. Well, the broadcasters vote on that award too, right? So the broadcasters are just going to pick whoever the best coach is. Like there's not going to be they're not going to be swayed by anything else but who's the best coach. But the other thing I wanted to point out on here was you talked about you brought something up when you talked about Trevor Zegras. It's kind of funny. I was in Philly about 2.5 weeks ago, and Rick Tocchet was there, and obviously Zegras was there. Got off to a good start. Did you hear about the conversation Talk had with Zegras? And this is out there. Wasn't. This is out there. When he brought him in, because he got off to a great start, he basically said, "Do you want to be a TikTok guy with showing your moves on TikTok and your video game guy and this and that, or do you want to be a player?" He goes, "I'll help you be a player if you buy into what we're selling here in Philadelphia." And he changed some things in his game, and he got off to a pretty good start. I haven't watched him lately, but it's amazing. Like he needed a change like that to go play for a guy like Tocchet, get out of there, go to a new spot, and then the Ducks needed a different set of eyes, a different coach to come in there and give them a new direction, a new meaning. But yeah, Zegras is I don't know, he's an interesting player, but he's kind of turned it around in Philadelphia, Graeme.
Yeah. But one of the things I noticed last night when Ducks were playing Boston, they had Dostal playing in nets. So Ottawa's probably not going to get their number one tonight. It's probably going to be Mrazek. So that's, from an optimism standpoint, if you're looking for positives here, that's one of them. You're not facing the number one. Yeah.
Mrazek's a gamer though. Anytime he's gotten in there this year, I've always liked Mrazek since his days with the Red Wings. But no, it'll be I'm interested to see McTavish as well, and Frankie Vetrano, the quietest 37 goal scorer now. We were laughing about this before I'm looking at the Ducks roster. I'm like, Frankie Vetrano, didn't this guy have 37 goals 2 years ago? I think it was 2004. And now all of a sudden, just goes to show you, It goes to show you on every bad team, there's a guy that's got to score your goals, because you're still getting power plays. You're still going to get somebody hitting around 30 because he's playing every single power play. I'm not saying Vetrano's a bad player, but now the team has got some young players that are up and coming with Carlson, with McTavish, with Gauthier, and now Vetrano is on the third line. I think he's got 1 goal or maybe 2. I don't know, in the first bunch of games, but it's just that's why when you're making trades with bad teams, you really, really got to do your homework, because once that player gets to a good team or the team turns around, it's not the same, because there's always a guy or two on every team. It's the David Viborny rule. Somebody has to get the goals. And watch Vetrano go out and get a hat trick tonight against the Sens. But that's just the way it goes. That's the way the NHL is. It's somebody. Bad teams have to have somebody. And Anaheim was a bad team, and Vetrano was getting the goals. And now they're up and coming. Producer
Jake's chiming in the chat. 37 goals, 60 points, and somehow a -20 in 23-24.
Yeah. He's got a good shot, and he does work hard. He goes to the blue paint, but he's a good NHL player. He's not a star, but a good NHL player that plays every single power play and gets all the offensive zone looks is going to score. And that's what some people forget about that. And then you make trades, and think you bring that back to Zetterlund, maybe, right?
Mhm.
Like Zetterlund was on a very bad San Jose Sharks team, and he was their leading goal scorer, whatever he had. What did he have there, Graham? 20, whatever. And then he comes up.
Oh, God, 24? I think he had 24 a couple times.
But the Sharks were a horrible, horrible hockey team. So it's different. Like, that's why when you go to a different organization, it's not an automatic that you're going to score, because circumstances, type of team, style you play, role, and all those analytics stats with offensive zone starts and opportunities come into play, and all of a sudden you get what you get, right?
When you played, did you have like a favorite? Maybe not a favorite, but like, was there a guy that you knew was like a bad team vault, like merchant, like goal merchant, where you know, did you have one of those guys? Like, did you ever play with a guy like that? You're like, this guy's having a career, he will never do it again.
Well, that's the guy I always joke about, David Vaborny, the guy on Columbus. Columbus always had very mediocre teams, but on those bad to mediocre teams, someone's getting your points. It doesn't mean they're bad players. It's just their opportunities, their looks. And when you're on a team that is usually losing, the other team that comes in to play you, especially if it's a top team, it's almost a mental thing. They come in and usually you lose, and it's whatever the score is, 6-2, 6-3. The bad team's going to get some goals late, or they're going to get some goals where there's some let up in the other team. And I've played, I'll give you a name. I played early on in my career in Anaheim, and we were a really bad team. And Paul Kariya was obviously, you could tell he was going to be a star, but really bad teams have to sell tickets, and you have to elevate guys to your first line. So Kariya gets to start the year off. Chad Kilger was like a top 5 pick, and he was young. I think at the time Chad was 19. So Chad gets to start the year on Kariya's line. And then there's a guy by the name of Todd Krieger, who was kind of like a journeyman guy, veteran guy, but we didn't, back then with expansion teams, it wasn't like now where you went and rated all the other teams' players. Like, you got crap, like, basically to build with. And Krieger was a good NHL player, but he wasn't a top line guy. He was like a third, fourth line guy. So Krieger, Kilger, and Kariya become our top line, and they call them the Special K line. Kariya, Krieger, and Kilger, and they get to play every power play. So all of a sudden, Krieger's getting some goals, and he's on the Special K line. But you're on a shitty team, so it's like it's not real. Like, it's not real. But that's an example, and it's, you know, Kriegs was a good player, but he got to play on the first line because of circumstance, and then because of that, you get goals, and you get to play on the Special K line.
Okay. Well, how about instead of just going right into the Sens game tonight, talking about the Sens, how about we get some ad reads out of the way, and then we can get right into it.
Let's do it, Graham.
All right, Jake, going with Shoeless Joe's. Shoeless Joe's, daily deals you do not want to miss. Burgers, wings, cold beer, great prices. No fluff, just big flavor, 5 nights a week. This week at Shoeless, we've got, it's past Monday, Tuesday, today's Thursday, so you got your half-price wine, and you got your $10 flatbreads. Perfect for date night, for catching up. You got your Caesar Sundays. Shake up your Sunday with $6 Caesars, and you have your game day bud deal. If there's a Canadian team on the screen, you got $9 buds all game. You also have your Wings Tuesday, your Big Burger Energy Wednesdays, and you have fish and chips on Mondays. So Shoeless Joe's, where daily deals meet big flavor and good times on repeat. You can check them out in Kentville and Orleans. We will be there on December 2nd before the Habs away game. So if you're in the vicinity of Orleans on December 2nd, come out and hang out with us. Be a lot of fun.
Nice. Looking forward to that. I'm going to be just coming back from a week-long road trip, Graham. So I'm going to be flying in the Shoeless, maybe right from the airport.
Nice.
Yeah. And speaking of nice, how about the good folks at BEI? Give them a call, and they'll help you out with equipment rentals, aggregate, topsoil, custom crushing and screening, as well as hot mix paving. They can do all those great things for you. So when you're planning your next project, please consider BEI for all your aggregate supply needs. Give them a call at 613-432-1120 or online at bonasherexcavating.com. BEI is helping to shape the Ottawa Valley, and please remember to slow down in construction zones.
All right. So the Sens kick off their 7-game road trip tonight in Anaheim. Brady Tkachuk was on his Wingman podcast yesterday.
You listen?
I did. I listened to it. Yeah,
nice.
It's not bad. It's not bad. You can see like they're feeling it out still. Like it's not like perfectly seamless, and they're just trying to figure out how to get it going and run it smoothly. But there are some good highlights. But Brady mentioned he is targeting an American Thanksgiving return, so he should be back. He should be back around that time. So that would slate up with the St. Louis game, I believe, next week. So
wow, what a present! What an early Christmas present that would be, Graeme.
Yeah, it would be unbelievable. But I feel like, like when Brady went down originally, it's like, okay, God, if he's out for the next 6 to 8 weeks, you're looking at, man, you hope you're 500. And the Senators right now are 8-4-4, only 4 regulation losses. During that stretch, and full marks to the team, man, because I didn't anticipate. I know, like we talked about their left side depth. David Perron, Ridley Gregg, Zetterlund. You talk about those guys who, in theory, you should have enough depth to kind of get by, and the Senators have just been playing really well. They found a way 5-on-5 to make it work. They've overcome some goaltending, some penalty kill issues, and they're just finding a way to collect points. And they've hung in the thick of it, and they put themselves in a good position for him to come back.
We forget that Tim Stutzle had a slow start. Remember at the beginning of the year, the points weren't coming. He was working, you saw it, and then I talk about Amadio all the time, and rightfully so. He's a great player. Drake Batherson's had a real nice start to the season. Pinto has been really good. He got the new contract. Talked about the goals. If you go down and look at this team, Jordan Spence been a nice story, but I don't think we've talked about Stutzle enough. Because it's kind of you come to expect it, right? You think, okay, he's supposed to be the star, he's supposed to be doing it, but he's had to play without his wingman, Brady Tkachuk. And all of a sudden, it's been a revolving door on that left side. David Perron's did a nice job now being up with Batherson's this one. But you look at the little changes he did in his game. I'm looking at his face-off screen. We talked about this last week. He's 61% in the dot now. That's to what we saw in the past with Tim Stutzle. He used to really struggle on draws. Giroux would come in and take.
And that's it. He was insulated, right? He was insulated with Claude Giroux the entire time. So there was no pressure for him to take those right side face-offs. And even Brady would take those face-offs sometimes on the left side. He was, at times he was almost like the third man. Even despite being a center, he was the third man in the dot.
You're right. Tkachuk would take the strong side lefties, especially on the power play. But I don't think we're talking enough about Stutzle and how his game has gone to a different level. And because if you want to win in this league, your number one center can't be one-dimensional, because he's on the ice for roughly 20 minutes a game, and you can't be cheating the game. And you remember, we'll go back to when Jacques came in and took things over, the battles, and we used to talk about it on this show, Wally and I, about trying to stop him from going. And part of the beauty of Stutzle's game, he is so dynamic that you have to go east-west at times. He's the way he holds on to pucks, but he now picks his spots and his decisions of when he's going to try his skill you're still going to make mistakes, but at the right times. He still holds on to pucks. He comes into the top of the offensive zone. He does those nice things in tight spaces that nobody else can do. But I look at the defensive side. He's killing penalties now. He's on the penalty kill. He's winning draws. He's taking key draws. His whole game is just really starting to round out nicely, and he's doing it without Tkachuk.
Oh, it's exactly. And I think if you had to ask who needs to step up in Brady's absence, at the top of the list would have been Tim, right? For a guy who's pretty much been saddled with Brady his entire career over the past few seasons, he needs to step up and prove that he is that dynamic big game player that we all believe he can be, and do it without Brady. And to his credit, he has done that. And I think you touched on it really well. I think the thing that I've been most impressed with Timmy is it's just his details. It's the small details in the game. It's the winning faceoffs. Last year, I asked him at the end of the season, we saw the importance of what faceoffs can mean in pivotal games and pivotal moments against Toronto last year in the postseason. And you ask him about that, where he's not getting necessarily those faceoff draws, but he was taking pride in the fact that he was still above 50% in that series, and he was seemingly getting better. I think he was the only center actually who was above 50% in that series, and he takes pride in that. And I think he's such a competitive guy that if he has an opportunity to address a weakness and work on something, he's going to do it. He'll do it to the point where he wants to be the best at it. And he's got some great guys to learn from. Like Shane Pinto is very good at it. Claude Giroux is very good at it. They got some guys who can work with him and help him. And I think he's just such a competitive guy that he wants that self-improvement to take his game to another level.
And somebody, I think it was Alex Adams, he wrote a really nice article a couple weeks ago. It was about the relationship with Alfie and Stutzle. Did you read that? It was. I thought
it was good.
Can I give Alex a shout out? That was really well written. But I still chat with Alfie and see him in the summer, and I've chatted with him about Timmy a little bit. Like, I don't think that relationship can be understated of the value that Alfie brings with Stutzle, because when you're that good, like Timmy is, things aren't, you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, but the fact, like, Alfie's going to call him on everything. It's going to be straight talk. And there's a respect factor, because great players, like it or not, if you've got coaches, like, there's going to be times where you're going to say, what does this guy know? I'm better than he ever was.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got that. You can't really do that with Alfie there, because you're like, oh yeah, this guy's in the Hall of Fame. And he kind of knows what he's talking about. Yeah. But just to be able to throw things, to bounce ideas off, like the whole thing with the stick, like, hey, try taping your stick this way, try doing this, little things like that to have conversations with. They're just so invaluable. I'll tell you a quick story. When I played in Boston, and Dave Lewis was the head coach. So Louis, for people who don't know who Dave Lewis was, you go back to all those years that Detroit was winning Stanley Cups, and Nick Lidstrom, arguably the best defenseman on the planet. The defense coach that ran the D was Dave Lewis. So everybody gives Scotty Bowman a ton of credit, and yeah, good coach, won cups. But Dave Lewis is one of the most important guys behind the scenes with those Red Wings teams. He got his hands on Nick Lidstrom when Lidstrom first came over, and he was Lidstrom's D coach for his entire career. So when I got to Boston, I've had really good assistant coaches, but I never really experienced having a head coach that had played over 1,000 games in the NHL. And after practice, Louis would stay on. This was kind of cool, Graham, because usually the coach leaves. Louis would stay on the ice and work with the D. And he used to say stuff to us that would always really stick with me. And it's unfortunate, because I was 37 at the time and I was pretty well done. I'm like, man, I would have liked this guy earlier in my career, because he would come back to you and he's like, guys, what are you doing? He goes, why are you rimming the puck? He goes, we work so hard to get the puck. He goes, why do you want to give it back to the other team? And I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But like, he would say stuff like that to you, and then he would take you aside. And I see Alfie doing this with Stutzle. They'll just go after practice and they'll pass pucks together. They'll go backhand. They'll go forehand. They'll do some puck protection things. And Louis used to come on with us, and he's like, all right, D, come on over here. We're going to do some footwork. We're going to do some little subtle things that only a guy that had played for a long time would know that you really need in certain points of a game. And no disrespect to any of their D coaches, but there is such a value to have a guy that just knows the ins and outs of being in the league. And the nice thing with Alfie is he knows it on a star level too, being in a small market. So I just think that relationship has been so good for Stutzle and helping him. Obviously he's a great player, but I think the influence of Alfie has been massive for Tim.
And do you think it works in Alfredson's benefit that, like, Tim's a superstar player, right? Like,
yep.
Like, for a coach who's trying to make like these small changes and subtle improvements in players, like, there has to be a comfort factor in knowing that, like, you're a Hall of Fame player who can easily go to
100%
another superstar player. It makes it a lot easier, right?
Well, it kind of validates what you're thinking, and when you're, because you always, like, there's always a respect factor with your coach, but it's different when the guy you're talking to, like I said, has scored massive goals, has been in big game situations. It's more or less to understanding the pressures of being in the NHL day to day, because it can play with your brain when things aren't going. Just go to the beginning of the season this year when Stutzle got off to a slow start. Like, well, you can go over to Alfie and have a chat, or he'll just go to you and tell you some things. That's, to me, those little conversations, that's coaching. Like, everybody thinks coaching's about tactical game planning. The best coaching takes place when you'll see it at a skate, right? When you're on the rink, when all of a sudden a coach will go over to one of the players and they'll have a conversation on the ice, and they'll talk about things one-on-one. Like, that's when the real coaching happens, because so much of this game, Graham, is between the ears. It's so much between the ears, and that's why it's important. That's why you see so many guys on staff now, because today's player too thinks about a lot of things. Like, he needs to be coached differently. It's gentler approach. It's not like it used to be. So you gotta be able to get through to these young guys.
I think one of the cool things about Alfie, like, when you're at the skates, like, he's working with everybody. It's not like he's working with just the skilled forwards or anything else. Like, last practice I went to was on Monday before the team traveled on Tuesday, and like, Alfie took time to work with Nick Jensen at the blue line, just about where he should position his hands on the stick. Like, for like subtle stuff, right? And like, you always see him after practice. Like, last year he spent time working with Tyler Clevin on like receiving passes on his offhand and feeding it back to Alfie cross ice. Like, he's it's the subtle details. And even Artem Zub last year, like, Alfie's flipping pucks high up in the neutral zone. The plan was for Artem just to kind of like trap it in his feet, play it up to his skate, play it off his skate to his stick, and just cleaner retrievals on flips and dump outs. And it's just like the subtle, it's like those plays happen like hundreds of times in a game, right? Like, just small flip outs and everything else. And it's just like how you can improve yourself and just those small instances, because big picture, you don't think anything of it. But, if you can do these things really well, seamlessly, it's going to make such an improvement to your game and help your team win.
So one of the things when you're in the league and you're a player that guys will laugh about, especially because you don't practice as much now, but when you do, and especially after practice, like, you'll see guys stay on after practice. And if you're not playing a lot, or you're a guy that's not a top guy, even the top guys, the good top guys stay out. So there was often a joke, like, guys are staying on the ice trying to look busy, like they're doing something. Like, they're out there because they have to be. Be keen. But you'll see, and if you really watch, like, the guy's not really doing anything. Like, they're passing a puck to the point, he's just shooting it. But there's no real method to the madness. But like, that's why the stuff you're talking about with Alfie doing things where they're actually meaningful things that could make a difference. And it's back to my point where I talked about Dave Lewis, the old D coach. I remember doing stuff too, similar to that. Like, they'll come out and all of a sudden your D coach comes out and he puts like a big object in front of the net. And it's like, no, you're not just going to walk to the middle of the ice and shoot pucks. Every single shot has to be 2 feet off the ice. Well, why does it have to be 2 feet off the ice? So you can get over the guy's stick, you can get it to the net, and you hit the goalie in the pad, and you're either going to get a rebound or it's got a good chance of going in, or it can get tipped. But you just over and over and over, repetition, doing things, the right things. But that's what, and Ottawa's got a good staff. Like we talk about Alfie so much, like, Mike Yeo is a really smart guy, Graham. Like,
been a head coach in this league too. Yeah.
Detailed guy. Nolan Baumgartner is a guy that, he wasn't a star. He was a defenseman in the league that really had to work for everything he got. So guys like that understand things, and because they had to work hard to do it. And Greener's similar. Greener was a third line guy that had to play both ways. So I like the makeup of their staff. They've got a lot of different ways they can get through to players.
So one of the reasons why the Senators have had success without Brady this year is the play of the Amadio-Pinto-Giroux line. Jake, you got a board for us, eh? All right. So of the lines that have played 100 plus 5-on-5 minutes, Yorkie, this line is the best in expected goals for. They're one of the best in goals for, the rate of goals they score, the rate of shots they prevent. So when you're looking at this, GF stands for goals for, obviously. Yep. SA stands for shots against. GA stands for goals against. Like, this line is one of the best at generating offense. They're one of the best at suppressing shots and goals. They're playing unbelievable. Like, when you think of like the best lines in hockey, you're probably not thinking of this line, right? Like you're thinking of like the McKinnon line, you're thinking of McDavid line, but like Giroux and Amadio-Pinto, just the impact that they've had, they've been unbelievable.
Yeah. Do you know where a lot of this starts with these guys? If you watch when they come out of their own zone. So you've got guys on the wings like Amadio and Giroux. So this is one thing head coaches and teams really stress. That little area inside your blue line, when you've got to make a split-second decision, that little decision is gonna decide whether you get out of your zone quickly or you spend the next 30 seconds running around defending. and if you want to get these metrics up, you play in the other team's end. And everybody always talks about, you go back to the Wade Redden days. Why did everybody, great first pass. A great first pass is super, super important. But that next step is your handle by the winger. Because most teams, it's a quick up to your winger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Giroux and Amadio are probably the two best wingers on the team that help that transition phase out of your own zone. And because of that little quick, because Claude's so smart with the puck, right? Like he knows how to put a little backhander to the middle or the right chip off the boards. And how many board battles, like we joke about it, but Amadio, it's crazy how many board battles this guy wins.
No, it's unbelievable.
So right away, and Pinto is a smart center. He's always usually on the right side of the puck. So they get out of their zone cleanly. And then they spend more time in the offensive zone. And then Giroux makes nice places in the O zone, makes nice plays. Amadio, again, smart player. You got three really smart players, and I haven't even mentioned Pinto yet. That's why their metrics are so good. They don't cheat. They make smart little plays, little 2-foot, 3-foot passes. They support the puck. And I just love watching three smart players play the game. And those are three of the smartest guys in the league right there.
So how important is this season for Claude Giroux? Like we talked about him last year. Wally's joking that there's not a chance he's coming back. There's a 90% chance he's not coming back. Like,
no
like,
chance. Remember that?
No chance. There's no chance.
We don't bring that up enough. And we had Claude on the show in the summer. And Wally was just kissing his butt. He's like, Claude, it's so good to have you back. We knew you were never leaving. I'm like, you said there was a 90% chance he was signing somewhere else. Zero.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But like,
what do you,
not that we were writing Claude off, right? Like we're not writing him off. Still,
I wasn't.
Like 50 plus points last year. It wasn't a high scoring Senators team either. Like they're just very strong defensively and everything else. But like, how important is it for him to have a season like this where not only is he playing well defensively, but he's still producing a ton of points, and he's doing it on a different line. He's not playing on the top line. He's not a merchant playing with Timmy and Brady. Like he's doing it legitimately, playing with Amadio and Pinto. Yeah,
I'm just looking at his stat line right now. Like he's still, he's 16, what is he, 16-30 a game. So he's playing meaningful minutes. He's playing hard minutes too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll get quite a few D zone starts. He'll take a lot of key draws, especially on the penalty kill. You know what it is now as he's an older player, he's really efficient. Like when you watch Claude Giroux play, there's not a lot of wasted movement. There's not a lot of wasted skating when you don't have to skate. And it's not like he's cheating. His game is really, really efficient. And it's between the ears. Like he understands the game so well. Go back to those years when he was getting all those points in Philadelphia. He's obviously not the same player, but his brain's still the same. And he understands the league so well. And he's in great shape. Like everybody knows how he trains. The guy still does skating, power skating in the summer, still works with Shelly Kettles, Pat Malloy, all the people. He doesn't rest on his laurels and still has the fire, still wants to win. But yeah, it's when you get older, for sure, it's important to keep producing. But he's still, you know what it is too, Graham? When you get older, you can tell if you lose your edge, that little edge, that competitive edge. Like he hasn't lost that, not even close. And as long as you still have that, like I don't see him, like I don't see him even close to retirement. I don't.
What was that moment for you? Like, I know you've talked about going to Switzerland. You've said openly, like, I probably shouldn't have come back to the NHL for that last season. But like, was there a particular moment where like, man?
The problem is if you get some major injuries on the wrong side of 30, it speeds up the end. And I had a year in Nashville in 2000. It was right before the last lockout, or sorry, not the last lockout for me, because there was one after that. 2003, 2004 season. I had like 4 major surgeries where I hurt my knee, so I had to have knee surgery. I had to have my face reconstructed, and I had my eye. I had retina surgery. Sorry, it wasn't knee, a shoulder. I had my shoulder reconstructed too. So when I came back, I wasn't the same player. And Nashville actually knew it, because when the lockout came, when we came back, they didn't offer me another contract because they saw my medical history was like, this guy's pretty beat up. And then we had the year off when I came back, and I was playing. I tried to come back to the NHL. I couldn't get a contract right away, so I went to Switzerland. But when I was playing in Switzerland, I kind of knew it. I'm like, every single game, just in order to get ready to get on the ice, it was a process. Like, all of a sudden, I had hurt my wrist really bad too. I had way too much stuff wrong with me. So, like, the biggest thing. So, like, the biggest thing for older guys is if you avoid major injuries and multiple ones, like, that's number one. And Claude's been really healthy, and that's number one. So for me, as soon as you start getting the injuries start piling up, it's not good. And then I ended up coming back to Boston and shouldn't have been playing. I had just way too many things wrong with me. And then all of a sudden, your kids just become more important too. And you're thinking about your kids' hockey instead of your hockey. You're like, I can't wait to. You be thinking, like, not on a game. Obviously, when the game comes, you're dialed in. You're thinking about the game. But on off days, you're like, man, I can't wait to go to my kid's game and watch my kid skate, and how's he doing, and get him on the ice. And I was living in Boston at the time, and I was making an outdoor rink beside the house, and I was all fired up to make the outdoor rink. And you're just so happy to see your kids start a process where your priorities change. And that's when you know it's time. But Claude has playing in Ottawa actually really helps him with that, because he's got people around him. He's got the family, he's got people, versus when you're away. But number one, he's been healthy. So long-winded answer to your question is health. Yeah, health's number one.
The one thing that impresses me, and it's whether it's practice, drills, just his disposition. He's just like, you can tell he's a fiery and competitive guy.
He's dialed.
He's a unique personality in a group. Like all those guys are driven, obviously. Like, they're all professional athletes. Like, they're all driven in many respects. But to see a guy who's just that dialed, it's pretty neat.
But he wasn't handing anything when he was young. Like, he went up.
No, not at all.
He went up like he's not because Claude, people forget, was a superstar in the NHL. Like, you go back, like, he was up for the Hart Trophy one year back when he had those couple really good years in Philadelphia. Him and Crosby, those Philly-Pittsburgh games were legendary. But his career came from hard work and perseverance. Like, he wasn't
he was passed over in the O, wasn't he? Like, he wanted to play in the OHL, and then he couldn't get drafted, couldn't make it, and then he had to go to Gatineau to do it. He had to go to the
That's
Q.
why, like, I love, like, when you're a first overall pick, I'm not saying things are handed to you, but the red carpet's rolled out. Everything, when you go to training camp, for example, like, every single person at training camp is cheering for you to succeed. Like, everybody, and all the resources, and there's no naysayers. Everyone's got the pom-poms out, and everyone's cheering for you. When you're a guy, and not that Claude was drafted like extremely late. I think he was a second or third rounder. I think he's a second rounder. Like, it's just, there's going to be naysayers, and he's too small, or this, too slow. And it gives you some edge where you're just always, You always got a little bit to prove, right?
Yeah, for sure. I talked to Nick Jensen a little bit about that. Like I had a really good conversation with him in the last week, where he talked about that. Like he was reflecting on his career, and he's like, there was a time when I wasn't sure if I was going to get that opportunity to play at the NHL level. And like he says he tells his teammates all the time, all these young guys who come up, he's like I think he said he spent like 2 or 3 years in the AHL before ever getting a sniff. And it's like, you know, like in this young NHL now, where it's like, you know, usually it's like guys maybe spend half a season, maybe a full season, you know, and then they're up, right? So it's like it's a rarity for guys like that to spend multiple seasons in the AHL before getting that opportunity. So
no,
it speaks to it. You gotta have that drive. You have to work, and it's, you know, for guys like Nick Jensen, guys for like Claude, it's like you can see where that work paid off.
That's why like people are like with Yakimchuk. I think it's great he's down in the AHL right now.
Good segue, Yorkie.
Yeah, I know. We want to.
This is where I was going next. This is great.
Yeah, but that's like he is exactly where he should be right now. He's in the minors, playing a lot of games, playing big minutes, learning how to be a pro. Like it's going to help him in the long run. Would it be great for him to be in Ottawa? Yeah, but it's not the time right now. Like he's there. I spent 3 years in the minors. Mind you, I wasn't a first round pick. I was a 7th rounder, but I don't think enough guys, especially defensemen, spend enough time down there because it's a development league. And at the same time, it's the second best league in the world. Like people can say what they want about the KHL and these other leagues. Like, sure, there's some talented guys, but the AHL is a tough league, and guys are down there. Everybody wants out. They're all trying to get to the NHL. You got to really earn your stripes down there. So I think it's great Yakimchuk's down there. I don't see a rush to get him here. It's just play your minutes, learn the game, learn the pro game. It's a massive difference between the Western Hockey League and the NHL. And I haven't saw full games down there, but what he's doing right now down there is going to prepare him greatly for what's about to come.
Yeah, and he scored yesterday in Belleville's afternoon game. He's got 11 points in 16 games. The offense is obviously there, but he's, you know, I hate giving too much credit and paying too much mind to like plus minus, but he is a -9. I know some of that goes with a goaltending circumstance, luck, whatever, but like he's there for his defense, right? He's there to learn. He's there to learn defense at the game's highest level professionally, and that's what he has to do before he makes that transition up to Ottawa. And he's got to learn. He's got to know when to go, when not to go. And that's like, once he figures that out, and like Tyler Clevin speaks to this as well. Like he spent a full year in Belleville learning the game, playing alongside like Nick Manpalo. And if Yakimchuk spends more time in Belleville marinating as a prospect, it's not going to hinder his development. It's only going to help him. Like
it's going to help him.
No prospect's development is ever hindered by spending too much time in the AHL.
So the other thing too is like when you get the puck, it's so much different than junior because guys in the pros know how to angle. when you're in, you would be surprised how many players in the junior ranks have no idea how to angle correctly, because junior hockey, you're just trying to score as much as you can. You're trying to get noticed because points and stats, that's how you get picked high. It's all about getting the offense, unless you're this massive defenseman or massive forward that people are like, oh, this guy's 6'6". I'm going to draft him because I'm going to turn this guy into a player. But Yakimchuk's going to learn how to, when he gets the puck, how much time you have to make a play, how much time you don't have to make a play, how to not cheat the game. Because in junior, all the smart players know how to cheat because you're playing against half the rosters that are dumb players. Like there's just, it's true. It's just you're in junior. Like you can hold on to the puck. You can fake guys. You can get guys to bite and they'll turn off. And you get to the pros. You're like, holy shit, these moves don't work here. I better move the puck. But that's one of the biggest things I noticed when I got to the pros. You have to know what to do with the puck on your stick before you actually get it, because it's too late. The decision making just happens so fast. And then your defensive reads, it's like You got to go to this guy. You got to go to that guy. And if you don't do it quick enough, it's too late. Like all it's your brain has to start processing way faster than it does in junior. And the most important, like I said, it's the cheating factor. You watch good junior players play, they cheat the game so much because their brains are better than whatever 80% of the rosters. So they basically outthink the other players because they know where the puck's going to go, and they cheat the game. And then they get to the NHL, and the NHL coaches are like, shit, I got to get the habits into this guy because he didn't cheat the game for the last 3 years.
Yeah. Jake, we can hit the Bet365 segment if you want. So Jake has a parlay for us. This segment is a presentation of Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in the game. Use the code NATION. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connectsontario.ca. So Jake's got a parlay for us on tonight's game.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got your boy Leo Carlsson, which is topical. So $10 wager will return you $153. He's got Leo Carlsson with a point. I like that. Claude Giroux with a point. That's a safe bet. That's safe. Drake Batherson has, I believe he has 1 goal in his last 5 games. So he could be due, depending on how you think about it.
He could be.
He's playing some good hockey, though. And Moneyline, Senators win. I like that because you got Mrazek and Nets. I like that, Jake. I like that. That's solid work.
You putting some cash down, Graham?
I could. I don't mind this.
So speaking of Leo Carlsson, I like the bet too. We had a meeting of the minds last night. So we go out Wednesdays, Thursdays. We have a couple old fashions, talk about things, and everybody loves this topic. And my buddy Joe's like, if you could pick one guy in the NHL right now to start your team with, who are you picking? And we went around. Everybody was like, this guy's taking Bedard. This guy's taking McKinnon. This guy's like a lot of Celebrinis were picked.
And you're like Michael Amadio.
Amadio's coming as my glue guy, but I threw it to Leo Carlsson. Like
that's nice. Nice little wrinkle.
Yeah, I
didn't realize he was that big. Like I know, like you assume everyone's like over 6 feet, but like I didn't realize that he was as big and as heavy as he is.
6'3", 208. That's what it says in the yearbook. Yeah, and I'll be honest, I haven't watched him play a ton. He's one of the guys I'm really going to watch tonight. But yeah, he's it's interesting because there's very few skilled centermen in the league that are that big, and the ones that are big really stand out. Like you look at Barkov on Florida, right? Two-way centerman. Everybody talks about how good defensively he is, but his skill set, like he's one of the best shootout guys in the league. Like his hands are crazy. But he chooses to play the right way. Doesn't cheat the game. And that's why Florida wins. Florida wins because their number one center is their most responsible player. And everybody else kind of buys in behind that. And obviously they got the pieces and the goaltenders and a lot of things go right. And they play a bullying style of hockey in the playoffs, which is advantageous to winning. But when your number one center is skilled, big, and plays the right way, and we kind of touched on Stutzle, who's playing the right way now, the team falls in suit behind you.
Yep. But you remember even like last year's postseason experience or last season's postseason experience, like Craig Berube referenced Timmy off the hop, right? Like,
yeah, remember that?
He's like, I don't think you people understand. Like he plays heavier than you would believe him to be just because of his skill set and everything else. Like he's not afraid of that stuff. And I think like to your point, what's his size? I think he's 6'1", 6'2", maybe.
But he's wide.
He's getting bigger. He's filling out a little bit as he's maturing. But I think it's to your point though, Yorkie. It's like if your best players are also some of your hardest working guys on that team, you're in great shape.
That's how you win. Like it's not rocket science. Go back and look at all the teams that win Stanley Cups. Their best players, look at Vegas. When Vegas won the cup before Florida, they brought in Jack Eichel. Obviously, Mark Stone's their captain. Probably for me, he's their hardest working forward. Like he plays the right way. When you look at Mark Stone, the word cheater doesn't come to mind. Like he's not cheating for offense. He plays the right way. I think that year Vegas won the cup. I don't think they had a player with over 70 points. They were all, I think their leading scorer was in the 60s. And people was, how do you win that way? Well, because none of your players cheat and they make it hard on the other team. And there's some other facets involved too. But same with Florida. Like I said, Barkov. Go back to when
it was similar for you guys, right? Like when you were with those Senators teams, like obviously Alfredson, obviously like eventually Alfredson, Spezza, and Heatley put up 100-point seasons, but like it was a rarity for a Senators forward to have more than like 60 to 80 points.
Yeah. Well, my teams, yeah. But when the team got really good and you go to the pizza line there with Heatley, Alfie, and Spezza, they were rocking some they had some good statistics. But that team was scary good with the amount of talent they had on there. But if you look at their depth guys, like they had always talk about really good third lines. Like you go back, people forget how good Mike Fisher was.
Yep.
Because he got pushed down into like a third line kind of role. You could argue the second line, but he was a really hard guy to play against.
He kind of reminds me a little, like Ryan O'Reilly, I think like at times reminds me a little bit of Fish. Like just like physical, skilled.
Yeah. Not as mean though. People like Mike Fisher, really nice Christian guy, doesn't swear, but man, he's mean. I remember having to play against him when I was in Nashville and we came to play Ottawa, and I'm like, holy shit, he's tough. He's fast, he's strong, and he finishes every single hit.
He did everything at 100%. Like he would hammer a guy, take the puck from him, skate as fast as he can up the ice and wire a shot. Yeah. And then even if he missed the net, he'd go and retrieve it, skate as hard as he could, and then he'd paste another guy. It was like he's a freak. He and a very handsome man too, Graham. You could say that Mike Fisher was the first version of Shane Pinto. Plays a little bit heavier. Plays a little bit
shot, right shot centerman.
Some similarities. Can shoot the puck. Yeah. Some similarities for sure.
Pinto's just gonna have to go. Pinto's gonna have to go out and find himself a nice country singer.
And then he's moving to Nashville, so we don't want that.
Do you ever hear the story how Fisher and Carrie Underwood met?
No. Did he go to a concert or something?
Yeah. So the agents, as the story goes, set it up for them to meet at the concert, and that's how they first met, and things started from there. But
unreal.
Yeah, Pinto, get your agent going.
It's an arranged marriage. Okay, so Yorkie, we got a special message from one of our viewers or listeners' wives, and she wanted to pass it along. So we received an email, and she wanted to convey a message to her husband, Stefan. So we've got a special message. And it's probably one of the best pleas that we've ever received. So happy 55th birthday to Stefan. According to his wife, Stefan is not just a fan. He's a diehard, long-suffering Senators fan who's also highly critical, which, let's be honest, it means he fits right in with the rest of all you listeners and viewers. She also wanted us to point out that he is a huge Jason York fan since his playing days. Yorkie, you got a super fan there. So apparently he's been using this show as his personal therapy session for years. And here's the kicker. Every road trip the Senators take turns into what she describes as a hostage situation because Stefan forces her to listen to Coming in Hot for hours. Well, that doesn't sound so bad. She says she now knows more about the Senators' power play than she has asked for in this lifetime. So, Stefan, your wife wants you to know that, yes, we know you exist. We know you watch the show. So we're wishing you a fantastic 55th birthday. And to your wife, we officially acknowledge your Stockholm Syndrome. Stay strong. Happy birthday.
Stefan. So, hey, we're the exact same age. We're both 55. Happy birthday. And I love that. Rocking the good beard there, Stefan. I love it.
Looks good. I like it. It's kind of like Joe Thornton-esque.
Oh, did you see with the Hall of Fame stuff that's been going on lately with Thornton, the stuff that's been going on social media when he went back, because he's from St. Thomas, Ontario. Yeah. They showed him go into the local junior team. It's the St. Thomas Junior B team. Did you see this video?
No, haven't seen it.
Joe Thornton goes to They play in the Goj, the GOHL league, and he goes to the St. Thomas, and nobody knows he's coming. He walks in, he's got the long coat on, the awesome beard, and he does the starting lineup. But he's just got so much charisma and personality. He's calling the boys out by their nicknames. He's doing this thing. It was just awesome. Like I know a lot of guys, Dan Boyle in particular, that played with Jumbo Joe. He's one of the best teammates ever. Like just a good human being. But little things like that, going back, because he played in St. Thomas, going back and doing something like that, just awesome.
But you can even see, like, he obviously didn't spend a ton of time in Toronto, but like when he comes out on the ice for the Hall of Fame game, you know, like you can see like the reactions on the bench. Like Austin Matthews has like the biggest grin on his face, right? Like you can see like how well respected and beloved a guy like that is.
Yeah. And man, in his prime, in Joe Thornton's prime, best passer in the game for that period when he was just like, remember, you just knew he was always passing the puck, just such an unselfish player. But man, his hands for big guys, there you go, back to our old center iceman with size and could play. And when he started playing, he went through a phase too when he was playing a little meaner in San Jose. Tough. Unfortunately, he never got a chance to win a cup, but what a career, and very deserving to go in the Hall of Fame.
It's like the Senators. Like I always put like Vancouver, the Senators, San Jose, kind of in those brackets where it's like great teams that just for whatever reason can't find a way to win a cup. Like
yeah. How about Vancouver? Eh? Like they've been around for a long time too, and they've had so many seasons where you're like okay, you go back to when they had that great line with Naslin. Brendan Morrison and Bertuzzi. Yeah. Like they had some good teams, some great defensemen on those teams, good goaltending. And then you thought with Pedersen coming in, they were going to be the team. And yeah, that's an interesting scenario what's going on there, because it looks like they're going to have to mix it up again.
And Pedersen's kind of struggling, right? Like they can't find a way to get him going. And then you're like, is it mental? Like what's like, how do you coach a guy through that?
I just think the league is so tough now. Like it's with 32 teams, and any team could pretty well beat any team now. Like I said, it goes back to if your top guys aren't just, they're not like dog on a bone type guys that want to drag the rest of the team with them. Like you're behind the eight ball. Like, and it's unfortunate because you see all these teams now, you draft these guys, and if you draft them high, you better be right with their personality and their mental makeup that they're going to be able to have that mindset of being warriors for you. And if they're not, you're screwed because they're coming out of entry level and they're usually going to have points because you put them in a situation where they're on all the power plays. And then you got to give them that big contract because that's just the way it is, because with the cap going up. So it's drafting though. That's why you look at Ottawa right now where they're at. Like they just, not that you got fortunate, but you don't really know until they start playing in the league of how it's going to turn out mentally and battle level and how they're going to mature. Like look at Timmy and Sanderson. Like, I don't think. Sure, it's easy to say now. Yeah, Sanderson was good, but I don't think anybody foresaw this coming, that he was going to be this, that he was going to be this good. But that's the thing with when you pick that high, you just you think you know, but you don't really know until a couple of years down where you see their compete level. Because
that's it. Like with Timmy and Jake, like their compete level is unbelievable. Like Jake is a self-professed like hockey nerd. Like he lives and breathes this game. Obviously, like Timmy's the same way, right? Like super highly competitive guy. And like, you know, like we talk about linear development, like development isn't always linear. There's going to be bumps in the road for some guys. And you talked about Connor Bedard earlier in this episode, and like he didn't have a great year last year. So what did he do? He had an unbelievable offseason, parlayed that into a great start to his campaign this year. Like it's just having that drive and that inner compete level to be the best that you can possibly be and push yourself towards that. I think like that's the separator.
Your star players have to have an inner drive where they want to crush the other team's star players. And like that's the difference. And that's what people will say, well, why isn't Toronto, what's been going on in Toronto for all those years? Well, you go back to the playoffs, And when it gets close, the other team's star players outwill Toronto's star players. That's basically what it comes down to. Sure, there's a lot of other factors, but at the end of the day, you're like, look at Pittsburgh when they were winning those cups. And today, Crosby's will to win. Like, you see that commercial that's out there right now with Sid on it. It's like he hates losing.
Yeah,
he hates losing.
Yep.
Everyone likes winning, but the best players just hate to lose. They hate it, and it drives them, and it wills them to. McKinnon's the same way. Like, you watch McKinnon play. Like, sure, he's got skill and speed, but his will is unbelievable. Brad Marchand. Why does this guy continue to win? He hates losing. Like, he hates it. Some guys in the league are really good players, but they don't hate losing enough.
I think Brady's the same way too. Like, all those
Brady's the
guys
same.
losing.
Brady's the same. Matthew Tkachuk's the same. Like, it's a common denominator with these players that end up winning. Their drive to win is great, but it's more their hatred of losing that really drives them.
Great way to end the show. Senators are back on tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Check it out. I believe we are doing our post game shows for all these games on the West Coast. So
Are you going tonight?
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I might try and jump on Saturday. Saturday is a 7 p.m. game, so I might try and jump on. Try and jump on for some of the other ones. So if you're awake, if you're a night owl, Cody would love the company.
I only got so many words in a day, Graham. Like, after a while, I'm out. I'm no more talking.
It sounds good. Everybody, thanks for watching. Jake, thanks for producing. We'll see you guys soon.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.